Lance Von Daniken, Megatron's fight for the all-star. Angels, demons, clashing, Skywalker's battling, it's all cause. It's a Star Wars, Star Wars. It's a Star Wars, Star Wars. Devils trying to defy physics and all laws. Angels, demons, clashing, Skywalker's battling, it's all cause. It's a Star Wars, Star Wars. Star Wars like Ice Cube, they get me with no Vaseline. Mother Nature and labor pains, hear her scream. Earthquakes are rhythm, tidal waves and climate change. When she gets into a violent rage, I ask what's wrong, but she plays a silent game. So I'm driving the vehicle, trying to tame, say no to desire. George Lucas can write this war, the script, you'll know Messiah. Everyone got a part, even if it's one chapter Obadiah. Remember one cherub used to fly, go between the stones of fire. From the beginning he was a lie, gave birth to many antichrists. Traded for secrets and the forbidden for a price. Star Wars, this ain't nothing like Drake and me going at it. Star Wars at the cross and some going through the hole for that rabbit. Bricklayers still wanna be your pharaohs. Trying to find stairways back to heaven with some crooked halos. Worldwide in the web, they got the net out. Yeah, now Dr. Doom the mad scientist, the devil's trying to get out.
Whoa. That sounds pretty mean there.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
For real, man. For real, for real.
What's your take on Star Wars? What's going on with this song here? You know, Star Wars.
Well, that's a big song. It meant, you know, it's got to go into it a bit still, just for you to understand. But, you know, it's a trip, because we can go on for a day or so. But sum it all up, you know, we go and look into ancient texts in the books, whether we look into the Vedic texts, the Sanskrit, and you see the flying ships, the Vimanas, and the chariots of the gods, and the war, and then a nuclear war between, you know, these are things that are told thousands of years that happened in what you would say through the Hindu scriptures, right? So you go into the Bible, you see the Book of Enoch. We can talk about Enki and Enlil, you know, Anunnaki. We can go into all these things. We watch TV, you know, Transformers, Star Wars, all them things, all them show, you know, it's a repeating theme. That something happened, you know. So when we look through the cultures of man and where they get the ideas to make these movies and keep influencing the generation, we find there's a real war that really is taking place constantly and has happened and is, and you know, there's a time coming where things have to settle up. But we right now, we see we're in the midst of a tumultuous revelations is in their midst, no doubt.
Yeah.
You know, we see that in what's happening around the world. Just like, look at the condition we see in India. A lot of people right now are basically, you can't eat without you getting an implant and a chip. So now they don't have the Bible, but they have the Bhagavad Gita. People have different scripture, you know, these texts that, you know, say of a different war, maybe half of the story, but now are still, because they didn't read the Bible, or the Bible is not a thing prominent there. Why you see in America, even though things are happening over here, but many Christians are here and they caught on to what this microchip thing is, you know, because everywhere you see it, they're taking away, everything is going into the chip. So there's these, what you want to call it, hidden forces behind, and dark forces behind man. Like it says, we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but you know, the rulers of darkness of the world, you know, they're behind the scenes, and they have men like puppets. So we see from many things, you listen into the song, you go into, you know, it goes into many names, which are like the same characters, just playing through different times, whether it's Megatron, you understand, or whatever you have.
Yeah.
But these things are constantly reoccurring. We read it in the Bible, we read it in each ancient scriptures and these texts. And, you know, studying it, we know, you know, there's a deep war for the souls of man right now, you know. And the King of Kings done come and establish a lot of things. So right now, you know, he manifests in these times, the revelations. He bring it out. So we as a people, if we can't say that the Lion of Judah has prevailed to open the book, loosen the seals. So that means mark of the beast, the judgment, all these things are upon the earth right now. So what has happened now? You know, look at the conditions in the churches and around the world. Look at the morality of man. Where is it gone? There's no morals right now in the earth, less than there was ever before. So why is this being so rampant and sped upon us, you know? Why is these things, people are being forced to this? And they're so disconnected, you know? We have to come together as a people instead of they're separating books and things. Everybody learn to realize people's culture. Then you might find yourself deep within it. Because the truth is that we're so more connected than we are separated. And these stories, when you look along the line from Egypt to all of these things, you look on pyramids, you see what you would call Vimanas, flying ships, UFOs, whatever. So we see these things, and knowledge and technology increase, like Daniel, the book say. In Ezekiel, we see wheels within wheels. By the river Chabar, Ezekiel saw this image of the Most High, the likeness of a man seated upon it, and the seraphim. So he saw the throne of the Most High. And how did it look? It was moving. It was in the air, carried about. So we look at these things and we look deep into not only the scriptures, but we know that technology and where man is getting it now is not coming from just man, but coming from another source. And this is the war that's at hand, you know, the hidden war.
Star Wars.
Star Wars. That the men of the earth, they're just puppets to it. They don't even have a clue what's going on, you know. The arena is just played by the leaders who play the cat and mouse and so forth, and they're not in control of anything. So that's the climate that we're at.
It's the people with wealth, no? With
People-
wealth.
Oh,
Rich.
yeah, rich. They control the world. The rich and those who have an agenda for it, and those who will give up everything for control and power. So you see, you know, that's the ego of man. You know, he's gone far beyond his boundaries. You know, and these times we're going to see it. That certain things that we take for granted, you know, life itself, we're going to have to learn the hard way. You know,
And this is the Star Wars that this is what this whole song
yeah,
yes.
in a nutshell.
In a nutshell.
That talk about it, you know, from the revelation with the war in heaven with Michael and the dragon and the serpent, the devil, and you know, the earth. He's been on the earth, you know, woe to the earth. All these things are a part of the Star Wars. Like I said, the same story has been repeated from the time in the garden, you know, back and forth to whatever, and every nation has brought a piece of this story with them. You know, they tell of these things, and if you look in their books, you know, we read the Ge'ez, we understand. We look in the Sanskrit, we understand. So what do we see? The same recurring theme. And, you know, so we understand that, yeah, there's a Star Wars. We see it in our own lives. We see it every day around us, in people, in their life. We see the negative forces attacking and the spiritual warfare that man is in. You know, yeah, so we must put on the helmet of salvation, you know, put on the shield and the armor of the Most High, because we don't wrestle against flesh and blood. And that's that deep mindset that we need to put our focus on, you know, and remember the words of the prophets and the sages and them who came before us, and them who left messages and words in certain books that we might take for granted and think they're just fairy tales, you know, but there's deeper stories than that. And even those stories on top is just half the story, you know, but we take from that, and that's where we come to understand there's a Star Wars, for sure.
Thank you. Thank you. Well said.
Sure.
And we'll hold it right there, people. Be right back.